giant sea creature.
A UFO moving underwater.
If you just zoom in and zoom into Google Earth, you will see this little island, but it has no name on it.
The asteroid hit the Earth.
The blob. Recently, when I'm scrolling TikTok, I'm being bombarded with this content regarding a large blob that has just been traveling the ocean, apparently, over the past few weeks. And I can't get away from this content, dude. TikTok is force-feeding this shit down my gullet. So today, I decided, let's just jump right in together, you and me, and let's just see what this entire blob situation is about. Do we need to be concerned that there's a large blob that's like the size of Africa moving in the ocean? Is the blob coming for you and me? We're gonna figure all this out today. So without further ado, let's jump right in. We're gonna be looking at this account here, Glam Ham Radio, and it's just this chick who's like teaching you how to use ham radios, which if you don't know what that is, it's like radio on steroids from my understanding. It's just super far distance. People communicate with each other from other countries, all this crazy shit, and somehow she got entangled in this whole blob phenomenon. So the first post that she made all the way down here on April 13th, and she breaks everything down for us in this nice little 4-minute video, so let's jump right in.
What has been going on off the coast of South Africa this week? Seriously, let's take a look. What was seen by satellite imagery on this website, Ventusky or Ventusky.com. Now this is showing April the 9th. I'm going to show you some close-ups of this. Check out what appears the next day. What? Look at this. You see how big this is? This is enormous. I mean, this is the size of this area of South Africa itself. This is enormous. I'm going to show you some stuff about this, and we're going to take a deeper look at what was seen,
listen to some stuff, dude.
And what people think it was or was not. It was billed as the size of Texas, this strange anomaly.
All right, the size of Texas, not the size of Africa. There's a little bit of a difference there, just a little bit.
Included the alien wave anomaly. People thought even a black hole or UFO. Viral TikToks was shot where the waves were going backwards with this extreme wind. Multiple news sources documented severe weather conditions. So here we are. If we go back, this is what it looked like. We're going back in time, and there it is on April the 10th, looking like this enormous 2,000-mile bug. Like this giant bug, apparently with 80-foot waves, but strangely, no one caught video of these 80-foot waves. I did go through the different options on this site. Nothing else was abnormal except when you select waves. Those are the other options there.
Okay, so this blob isn't like a mass per se. It could be. I don't think that's necessarily completely off the table, but what this thing is measuring is the amount of movement in the water and the waves, the wind, all of those factors. And that's pretty large, dude. That's like tsunami level shit, especially for South Africa right there. I'd be concerned. I wonder if that made like, I mean, they're saying that they did report strange and even extreme weather like conditions, but that's pretty fucking large, dude. The size of Texas, waves all throughout, just enormous waves. The fuck?
Look at the size of this, and of course ripe for theories because it was heading out of Antarctica. Could it be a strange military cloaking device? Could it be experimental weapons or technology? The theories of what this might be, as you can imagine, really gripped people's imaginations. And frankly, I don't blame them. Apparently, even more mysteriously, it disappeared so quickly. And this was not the first sighting of this anomaly. 2 days later. It was also seen February 25th this year by the same satellite imagery of Ventusky.com. This is what it looked like February 25th. So not such a singular blob, but still incredibly peculiar nonetheless.
It's all right directly on the coastline, that previous shot. Was that not reported? I feel like this could be easily debunked. They're just like, dude, there's just large waves coming on the coast, bro. Chill your horses. There ain't no UFOs out here, okay? But who knows, honestly. I'm one of the believers of that, like, if there are aliens, they could be living in the ocean, dude. I don't know if you know this, but apparently, I don't even know if this is real or not, but I've always heard that we know more about outer space than we do our own goddamn oceans. Like, how does that even make sense, bro? Let's figure this shit out. They're definitely living in there if that's the case.
Here is included a giant sea creature, a UFO moving underwater. So, even more peculiar, NASA predicted an asteroid hitting at around the same time.
No, they did not. Why would NASA release this information? Just to fuck with the people's mind, be like, yeah, an asteroid may be hitting in that area. Like, bro. Really? Clearly this isn't the case. Why are they even getting entangled in this shit? It's all conspiracy theorists, like, trying to speculate if there's like some sort of large sea creature of UFOs, and now you have a government entity coming into the situation just saying, yeah, an asteroid's coming. Like, what is happening with the blob, bro?
And it would make a near miss, this asteroid 2024 GJ2. But if we check out this space modeling video, did it miss?
2024 GJ2. If we put this into motion, it pretty much just goes right into the Earth.
What?
No matter.
Wait a minute, this is getting, there's so many different layers to this now. I didn't even know that it goes this deep. Like I said earlier, guys, I thoroughly skipped over all the blob content and TikTok just kept sending it to me, so we're just fucking fleshing this shit out. So an asteroid hit Earth now, they're speculating, and NASA said it was going to miss. So I'm assuming that their explanation was the asteroid maybe was messing with like gravity or something and creating some sort of weird wave movement. I don't fucking know. But apparently based on this 3D modeling of our fucking solar system, the asteroid went directly in, bro. The asteroid is in planet Earth.
How I look at it,
it appears the asteroid hit the Earth.
Boom, consumed right there.
Now, if we go back to that area, there is a fault line. Whether that could have something to do with it, I don't know. But here is the report put out by Ventusky.com.
Despite numerous reports of UFOs or Atlanteans launching from the ocean, yesterday's image of giant waves near Africa were due to a model error. The forecast is fine. So apparently, this is all just some sort of technological fuck-up or something. But people keep tracking this. This keeps happening, okay? This is all one video, guys, and there are many more for us to dive into.
Despite numerous reports of UFOs or Atlanteans launching from the ocean, yesterday's image of giant waves near Africa was due to a model error.
I don't understand. Wait. Before we even get off this, a model error, and like NASA made some sort of statement regarding it, and it was just a fuck up on this fucking website's behalf? How does that make sense, dude? Something is going on here, bro.
Currently get their data from these guys.
One thing's for sure, most of you did not agree with this response.
This is 100% an error. That's a fairly common shipping route, and there hasn't been a single report from a vessel. Nope, massive alien craft. Love the comments. Nobody believes this story, as they shouldn't. A model error would not show the propagation we see. Please explain the error in more detail. Multiple apps show the same error, and we did have those reports of extreme ocean drawback and this crazy weather off the coast of South Africa.
Let me know in the comments what you think. We'll be keeping an eye out. Take care.
Okay, so that's a lot for the first video, guys. Aliens, maybe. Loch Ness Monster type creatures? Not off the list, dude. An asteroid that has just destroyed the fucking crust of the Earth and is just messing everything up in the ocean? That is potentially one of the options as well. So there's a lot on the table and a lot on the line here. So let's see the next update. Now an island is being involved in this situation. There's a mysterious island that is being drawn into all of this. Let's see the connection.
Hey, it's Glam Ham. So I'm a ham radio operator. I love ham radio. I am not a blob expert, but I'm fascinated by
You have become the blob expert, so there you go. Congratulations. Pop open the champagne.
the blob, right? Many of you are. I've done a couple of videos. I had a few people write and say that you can't access this data. Well, I'm in the United States, and yes, you can still go back in time on ventusky.com. They have changed the word over here, which I find sort of I don't know why they did this, but it was saying waves, and you would select waves, significant wave activity, and now they've changed that to sea activity. But if you go to April 10th,
a little update, a little patch
still
job
there. So I did a video yesterday about how there's this little island that doesn't have a name on when you zoom into Google Earth. And one of my esteemed ham radio colleagues, Oklahoma Weather, Oklahoma WX, who volunteers for Skywarn, a fellow ham radio operator, he said immediately, that's Bouvet Island. Well, I realized I know Bouvet Island because when I was at Hamvention in 2022, I donated money to these guys who were doing what's called a D-expedition. So DX in ham radio means long distance, normally out of the country. It is actually my favorite thing about ham radio is seeing how far can I get with just a piece of metal and a radio. It is the ultimate off-grid comms, but I remembered these guys, who I thought at the time were insane, were going to the world's most remote island. Well, that's the island. That's the island by the blob. Fascinating, though, for me that this blob thing somehow comes back to a ham radio scenario by way of Bouvet Island. Back to Google Earth, though. It is weird, and I don't know if anybody has an explanation for this. If you just zoom in and zoom into Google Earth, you will see this little island. It has no name on it. If you search Bouvet Island, the name will go on the island. But other islands around there, you don't have to search for the name. You can go zooming into islands all over the place and their name. Yet this one doesn't have a name unless you show that you already know the name. There may be a perfectly good reason for this, but hey, we got the fun blob. So we're looking for other reasons that might be the case. I'm going to be keeping an eye on what everyone has to say about the blob. Very fascinating to me, though. Just very fascinating. So there you go.
Okay, so there's a unnamed island that is a mysterious island, if you will, that's named Bouvet Island. And apparently, she believes that Google Maps is gatekeeping the name, and those who know it can find it. Otherwise, if you zoom in on it, it won't tell you what it is, and other islands do that. Now, I don't know, I feel like that could just be like a popularity thing, you know what I mean? Like maybe some of these other islands are just more legit or something. They're like recognized by, I don't know, legalities of, if you will. Maybe this other island is just kind of like, it's like a little shit show. They fucking jimmy rig this shit or something. I don't know. But apparently somehow it comes back to her life. There's a group of people, they fucking put a little ham radio antenna out there or something. They want to see how far they can get. So not really a super close parallel to the blob. Maybe this is a government island and the fucking aliens are using it as a base, bro. I think that's like what she's trying to get at here. Who knows? Let's go on. Onward.
It's Glamham, April 16th, 2024. More insights into the strange anomaly seen off the coast of South Africa. We've already seen plenty about it, that it appeared on April 9th. We then looked further and realized that it also was around February the 22nd. Well, guess what? It was also present in the same location, March 27th. So we've got February, March, April. Well, I don't know what we make of that, but here's some other stuff that you might be interested in.
This is NASA's Earth data site, and for the heck of it, I put in April 9th to the 13th, and on the 10th, we do see, well, is it a blob?
Some people pointed out that there have been weather radar failures throughout April, kind of wondering if there's a coincidence or if there's something tied there, posting some news articles on that. Ventusky.com came out and said this was a model error, a glitch. The majority of people, from what I can tell in the comments, are not believing this. My interest in the blob stem entirely from my interest in anything to do with frequencies, hence I'm a licensed ham radio operator. In 2012, I had a near-death experience that was very sci-fi, very much to do with frequencies, so much that it was life-changing, and I started a podcast called The Grey Escape with Natalie Gray. So anyone who thinks
Wait, what? We need to know more about this now. So there are some interesting developments with the blob, you know, the little cloud. I think that was a cloud, a hole in the clouds. Maybe that's where the asteroid entered the atmosphere, dude. Additionally, you know, multiple sightings over the months. But apparently she had some sort of near-death experience with frequencies. We need to know more about that, bro. What the fuck's going on there? She's like traumatized to these ham radios and she just can't get enough of them now. It's over.
this is suddenly a whim of an interest for me, please go check out my podcast, started in 2013, and you might want to start with episode 35, The Startling Secrets of Sound, where I interview one of the world's leading scientists in the field of cymatics, making sound visible. Everybody's saying, what do I think this is? Well, I can tell you what I think it's not. I certainly don't think there was waves. We know this is a major shipping route.
That is a good point, honestly. So if it was waves, look at all these huge like boats that would be carrying cargo and stuff. They would be definitely making calls. Like, those waves are humongous if they were real, the magnitude of them. So that's definitely off the table. It's not waves.
Chaos. Somebody would have caught some big waves on a cell phone camera. So no, I don't think it was waves, but I do think clearly we have an area where Ventusky's equipment is picking up some data on a repeated basis. I did a video on the island that happens to be down here, this world's most remote island. So I mean, if you were gonna have something going on, what better place than the world's most remote island? It's so remote that if you search into it on Google Earth, it doesn't have a name. The only way you can have its name appear is if you put Bouvet Island into the search. I had somebody write to me who worked at Apple Maps, and they said that that is not normal. That if the name doesn't appear on the island, it's because someone designed it. I don't know what to make of it. It's intriguing, and I know I'm not alone in this. Let's look at more info. I've had many people write to me saying the weather has been off the charts in the Cape Town area of South Africa, and supported video has been sent to me. I've had a few people say, no, the weather is normal, so I'm going to share that with you too. Hey, some people say the weather's normal. Pretty interesting observation from Into Thin Air on YouTube. Shout out to him, because he saw this very strange anomaly.
Look at these distortion lines, just a weird looking frequency that comes and disappears. You can actually see another wave of energy moving up through Australia, the Papua New Guinea, Indonesia area.
If I have to make a guess what I think it is, not waves, maybe nothing even visible. Maybe some sort of a force field, a frequency, cloaking device. I'm saying this as an opinion, not as a fact. As I say, I am a radio enthusiast. I am a frequency enthusiast. So this is very intriguing to me.
A little bit more on the table, and it's kind of creating a more cohesive story as a whole. So the island, it's kind of making sense now. It's super remote, and she's saying that maybe there's some sort of interference coming through. They're saying it's a glitch, but like, yes, there was nothing there to actually report on wave-wise, but maybe there's interference of some sort with a frequency of some sort from some device that's being tested over there. Something along those lines. And honestly, that argument is definitely a little more persuasive than just saying, oh, there's aliens and they're saying there's a glitch, but we don't believe them. This is kind of creating like a little bit of a cohesive story, dude. I'm starting to be a believer! So, we're still far from over. There is a lot more happening here.
Hey, it's Clamham, super quick earthquake up.
We're getting updates like every 2 days as well. This thing is just jam-packed with information, guys.
Some interesting stuff, especially for those who know I've been following the blob. We have a 5.4 in Volcano Islands in the vicinity of Japan. It is pretty active right now. We've got earthquake activity.
Dude, we are getting crazy right now. I just want to say, like, look at this chart that we're looking at. I believe whoever can read this chart and make sense of it. What is going on here?
Over in China, more than we have seen lately. We have a 5.4 and other earthquakes in the Tonga region. But check this out. We have earthquake activity right off the coast of Mexico. Now behind that 4.4 is a 5.6. You can see my ham radio call sign here. That's where I'm located in California. And check this puppy out. A 5.2 near the southern mid-Atlantic ridge. Well, what else have we seen in this? Hello, blob. Let's just look at that again.
Okay, that's on that fault line for sure, but like,
let's just look at
if you go back here, that is on the other side. That is in a different location from what you're showing,
southern
where the blob is.
Mid-Atlantic ridge. Well,
that is,
what
watch,
else
ready? We zoom
seen?
out. That is west or east rather. That is east of South Africa.
In this,
so, this
hello,
is
blob.
west of it.
Let's just look at that again.
See what she's got to say, though.
That's it for today. Hope everyone is safe as always.
That's it? You're not even going to say anything? I don't believe that one. Do not believe that one. The blob's apparently back. It went missing.
Once again sharing my opinion on the blob. I've made 9 prior videos, so I won't repeat, other than to clarify the blob was seen at the website and app ventusky.com. Ventusky's data presented readings of 85-foot waves in what was a vast area in the South Atlantic, but there were no waves. We know this due to shipping lanes and the lack of the inevitable selfie depicting said 85-foot waves. Ventusky issued a statement calling the data reading a model error, a glitch. So why are we still talking about the blob? Because the blob has all the makings of a fantastic mystery, one which clearly thousands if not millions of curious minds have found compelling. First there was the appearance. It's a big, giant blob. Then there's the mysterious island, the world's most remote island on planet Earth, near where the blob kept appearing. And this island has a strange anomaly of its own. If you zoom into Google Earth, the island is unnamed. Only when you enter the name Bouvet Island does the label appear. Then we had the extreme weather in Cape Town, South Africa. Many people still commenting, sending me messages saying their weather is not normal surrounding the appearances of the blob.
I'm from Cape Town right now, Table Mountain. Found about that anomaly like 24 hours ago. We are now having this weather in Cape Town that came out of nowhere.
But hey, I'm not saying it's not a glitch. I did, however, keep exploring the archive on Ventusky and found that the April sighting of the blob was not the first. The blob was here in February, March, and now twice in April, always originating near the world's most remote island. I mean, you gotta admit, this has J.J. Abrams written all over it. He's probably securing rights to the blob as we speak. So many people wrote eager for my theory, so So I gave one. I noticed the blob behaves like ferrofluid, liquid with nanoparticles of iron that respond to a magnetic force. Well, Bouvet Island is formed from a volcano that sits near the convergence of 3 tectonic plates. I thought, what if some sort of iron-rich solution is leaking up from the rifts in the plates? Side note to some of your theories. The eclipse. I don't think the blob's related to the eclipse because the blob did appear in February and March before our April 8th eclipse. The military's blowing stuff up. Well, that would have made tsunamis, so I'm not on board with that one either. Harp. I'm not gonna go there. But there's a great YouTuber called Into Thin Air, and he had some info on that.
In a very weird looking area to the west of that island that very much has the setup and looks like a large antenna system.
Leviathan. You know there would have been a selfie. But back to the blob. It came back this past week. So as requested, here's where my brain's at with blob theory. There is already a legit anomaly in this area. It even has the word anomaly in its name. It's called the South Atlantic Anomaly, and it involves magnetism. You see, the magnetic field in this very area has been weakening, and scientists are paying attention because it allows more solar radiation to come through this area of space. And that means it messes with satellites. The Hubble Space Telescope has to switch itself off just to pass through this region. Well, guess what else our little South Atlantic anomaly is doing? It's splitting. And look what that looks like. Well, my brain goes, the blob behaves like something being affected by magnetism. This area is known to have a weakening in the magnetic field. What if the weakening field is allowing large amounts of nanoparticles of iron to drift up from the Earth's core, from down in the deep? Ventu Sky's data could be a glitch, but humans evolved in part because our brains need to seek out patterns and make sense of them. It's how we've survived. Sun up, sun down. Hey, we can plan around that. So I'm not going to judge anyone speculating on the what-ifs of Ventu Sky's apparent glitch, because now we have a pattern. If indeed there is a fault in Ventu Sky's software or equipment, why not take that part of it offline or fix it? So to close, I personally don't feel there's anything to be afraid of. If the blob is anything other than a glitch, my money's on it has something to do with magnetism. That's all for now. Take care.
That is a lot, once again, guys. So a lot of research was done into this, and originally I really didn't believe in the whole ferrofluid theory, which is that whole magnetized fluid thing, her holding the magnet and showing you how it works. Because initially I was thinking to myself, like, sure, there could be a solution, but what is controlling it? Where is the magnet that's like clumping it all together and moving it around, creating the blob? Essentially. But showing that point in the whatever that was, the anomaly or whatever, that was pretty convincing, dude. We have a tear in our magnetic field and it's causing this blob. I'm believing this shit, honestly. So this is the last video
traveling
she's got.
Internationally,
Posted
and
one
everybody's
day
writing
ago.
to me telling me the blob is back. The blob is back and blobbier than ever.
To see this for yourself, go to Ventu Sky.
Did you see how large that blob got, guys? The blob is getting out of control.
And select C from the options. Not there Monday at 8 a.m., but boy, look at the prognosis for the blob this time. Remember, this is not an actual blob. This is analyzed data, clearly picking up something. Remember, Ventu Sky said this was a glitch, and that.
So I pretty much picked this up all week, starting on May 7th. Wait a minute.
Guy said this was a glitch, and that it was fixed. Apparently not. I'll give you my theory when I'm settled in this analysis for
now here's the thing,
the
though,
options.
okay?
Not there Monday.
She starts on May 6th, and that's when it first starts.
At 8 a.m. But
and then
boy,
goes to May
look
7th.
At the prognosis for the blob.
This is also
this
posted
time.
one
Remember,
day ago.
This is not an actual blob.
Now I'm confused as to how this says May 9th. Excuse me. And it goes to May 10th, you'll see, because I'm filming this right now, guys, and it is May 7th, okay? So what are we talking about here?
This is analyzed data, clearly picking up something. Remember, Ventusky said this was a glitch and that it was fixed. Apparently not. I'll give you my theory when I'm settled in a bit. And boy, do I have one.
Something with manta rays? Okay, this is getting crazy. Energy harvesting?
And those of you who are going to give me a hard time for making this video, you know who you are. What can I say? I'm just a girl on her period.
Okay. That doesn't make sense though. I don't understand the whole thing of it moving. So it says blob forecast change. So I guess it's a forecast. They plan ahead. They forecasted the blob was gonna come in the week. And honestly, like, why does this blob keep appearing? Why doesn't this company just fix this shit? Obviously it's a glitch. This lady loves looking at patterns, and you know, you're giving her more bait to work with. So let's see, the blob forecast has changed. Let's see if they corrected it, because apparently as of yesterday, this entire week, the blob was going to just absolutely consume Africa. But let's see.
Hey, it's Glamham. You won't believe what I am going to show you. This is today's blob forecast, according to Ventusky.com. Remember, they have said this is a glitch and that it was fixed, but it keeps happening. Now, what we're looking at is from May the 7th to May the 13th. But here's the thing. This is a different pattern than we saw yesterday. So wait for it. So look. This is what the blob was doing if you looked yesterday. So not only have they not cleared it up, but it's completely different. Let's side by side these. So again, on the left is what yesterday's forecast of the blob was, and on the right is how it's changed today. So what is going on? We're not even getting a consistent glitch. On top of all, we've had a 3.6 magnitude earthquake in South Africa. If this interests you, check out my prior video, The Blob is Back.
And that's pretty much everything regarding the blob situation, guys. So that's Glam Ham Radio on TikTok. She's doing the most work out here with the blob situation. Definitely give her a follow and check it all out. But what do you guys think of this whole situation? Is it aliens? Is there some sort of Loch Ness monster type creature in the ocean? Is it the HARP thing? I don't even know what the HARP thing is. I think it's some sort of like government energy harvesting situation or something along those lines. That's the vibe I got. Or is there some sort of like fluid entering the ocean from this Bouvet Island because of earthquakes, and it's rich in iron and the fucking magnetic waves are pulling it away? Or do you think this website's probably just broken and it's just glitching the fuck out? It probably is that last one, but I don't know, man. There's some interesting stuff going on surrounding the situation as a whole. So what do you guys think? Let your boy Peablar know down below. That's gonna do it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, hit that bell, and subscribe. Get in the loop because I post 3 videos a week, so you don't want to miss a single one of those, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Be well and peace.